The top mid-range phones right now in the market are Lenovo K8 Note, Moto G5s Plus and Nokia 6, and I'm sure many of you are planning to buy one of them, but which one to buy? So if you are one of those phone camera enthusiasts who is a bit confused as in what to buy, then we are here to help. Welcome to Mobizium guys. Today we are going to do a camera testing on these three devices, that is Lenovo K8 Note, Moto G5s Plus and Nokia 6. So let us begin. First of all, talking about the camera specifications of these three phones, Lenovo K8 Note has a dual camera setup wherein one is 13 megapixel primary sensor and the other one is 5 megapixel secondary sensor for capturing depth. And it has an aperture of f2.2 and dual LED flash, and the front facing camera is 13 megapixel sensor with a single LED flash. Coming to Moto G5s Plus, it also has a dual camera setup. It has got two rear 13 megapixel camera sensor and the setup is quite similar to Lenovo K8 Note. One being the RGB sensor and the other one being monochrome sensor, and the aperture of it is f2 with dual LED flash. It uses dual pixel autofocus technology, which is way better than the phase detection autofocus technology which is used in both the rest of the phones. And the front facing camera is of 8 megapixel sensor and it has got an aperture of f2 with single LED flash. Nokia 6 sports a single rear 16 megapixel camera with f2 aperture and dual LED flash, and the front facing camera has an 8 megapixel sensor. The UI of all these three phones are simple to use, and as Moto G5s Plus and Lenovo K8 Note share the same parent company, that is Lenovo, they have quite similar camera UI. We have used these phones in all the scenarios, be it natural lighting, artificial lighting and low lighting. Now let us take a look at the pictures as in how they have come out to be. The striking difference here is the excellent dynamic range of Nokia 6, but the picture is slightly underexposed and there's very less detailing. The colors on Moto G5s Plus is quite accurate and also looks natural. Dynamic range is pretty low and the picture looks bright and sharp. The color accuracy of K8 Note is quite average. The color of the tiles look pink, but in reality they were orange. There's decent dynamic range and exposure. The picture is also adequately sharp. The color accuracy of Nokia 6 is pretty average and looks saturated, and the image is taken a bit warmer. While on the other hand, G5s Plus and Lenovo K8 Note looks quite similar. All the three images are sharp, but that of Moto G5s Plus looks a bit washed out. Although the color is close to accurate on Moto G5s Plus, it does not feel that sharp. Notice the pinkish hue on the image from Nokia 6. The one on K8 Note looks sharp. All the photos were taken using the auto mode. Notice the amount of oversaturation by G5s Plus. If you observe the texture on the back behind, you will find the image on Nokia 6 less sharper than the two. Here all the three perform well. The image on K8 Note feels a lot punchier than the other two, whereas the one on Moto G5s Plus feels somewhat washed out. These are some of the shots taken in artificial lighting. The color of the image on Nokia 6 lacks accuracy, while that on Moto G5s Plus is accurate but it is slightly noisy, and that of K8 Note looks sharper. Here all the three phones are trying hard to maintain the details of the image. K8 Note is completely blurry, the other two are equally sharp. These pictures were taken with and without flash. Note that all the three of them have dual LED flash. These are some of the shots using HDR feature. Lenovo K8 Note and Moto G5s Plus have an added depth mode which creates bokeh effect. Here are some of the samples using depth mode. Although the edge detection is not as accurate as S8 or iPhone 7 Plus, but it gets the job done. The low light image of Nokia is slightly soft, thus reducing the noise, and the lighting is also well balanced on the subject. Lenovo K8 Note tried to maintain a well balance between details and light, whereas G5s Plus images have a purplish color vignette noise. The amount of light is good, but images are not very detailed. Let us talk about the video quality of these three phones. This video was captured using K8 Note's rear camera, and the highest quality available is at 1080p at 30 fps, and this phone also has no stabilization whatsoever. These videos were captured using Moto G5s Plus. The first video shot at 4K resolution at 30 fps looks sharp, but it lacks stabilization. Well, Moto G5s Plus employs electronic image stabilization at 1080p at 30 fps. So if you are interested in watching these videos individually, we have given the link in the description. Do check it out. This video is captured by Nokia 6 at 1080p, and as you can see, the color is quite saturated and there is no stabilization as well in this. Talking about the front-facing cameras of all the three phones, the amount of noise is higher on Moto G5s Plus. The Kate Note seems to be the best of all because of the amount of detailing in it. Coming to the verdict, the USP of Lenovo Kate Note and Moto G5s Plus is its camera, and both performed decent for the price it comes with, whereas Nokia 6 is an average performer. The images taken from Lenovo Kate Note looks sharp, but sometimes they are oversaturated in natural lighting. And the front-facing camera of it is sharp, and it is also less noisy when we compare it to other phones. Well, Moto G5s Plus, the pictures taken are great in natural lighting. The colors look accurate and natural, but sometimes the pictures look washed out. The front-facing camera of it is also decent, but Nokia 6 performed below average when we compare it to these phones in camera department. Although the dynamic range was excellent, but the color lacked accuracy most of the time. So this is what we have come across after doing the camera testing of these three phones. If you found this video to be useful, give it a thumbs up, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for more tech videos. And if you want to watch tech videos in Hindi, then we have a channel, Mobizium Hindi as well. Do visit and subscribe to it. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ruchi Shah from Mobizium signing off.